that's interesting.
I'm glad you asked.
Ready for the ultimate football experience? The Discovery Cup 2025 is coming to Lagos, Nigeria from the 11th to 17th of May 2025. 400 talented young players, 20 teams, and 4 top European club scouts will converge at the Inspire Sports Academy ground for 7 days of action-packed excitement. Witness the future stars of football shine on the grand stage, with every moment captured by cutting-edge AI technology. By our official tech partners, Eyeball. Join us live in Lagos or watch from around the world as the action unfolds. Powered by Zero Sports Management in collaboration with Inspire Sports Academy. Sponsored by Mobile, AVE Nigeria, Xavier Stays, LXG Entertainment, Gas Guys, iImpact Studios, and CTA Sports. Don't miss the celebration of talent, passion, and future of football. You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on iImpact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Wherever you're listening to us from this morning, if you are an Arsenal fan, of course, it's not a good time. It's not a good time to love football at this particular moment. Of course, if you are not an Arsenal fan, remember to say a prayer, a word of prayer to an Arsenal fan right now. All Arsenal fans are now, as the case may be. Yesterday, we confirmed that they will be ending the season trophyless after the loss to Paris Saint-Germain 2-1 at the Parc des Princes. That makes the tie 3-1 on aggregate, crashing out of the UEFA Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain will be playing against Inter Milan, who on Tuesday knocked out Barcelona after the one after extra time, 4 goes to 3. That is that regarding Arsenal at this particular moment. Well, if your boss is an Arsenal fan, be careful what you say around him this morning, so you don't get queried. You don't get queried at work, or you might even get sacked. Depending on how close your boss is an Arsenal fan, or how strong he is as an Arsenal fan. Of course, if your brother or your boyfriend or your husband is an Arsenal fan at this particular moment, be careful what you say, around them. So that money they say they're going to transfer to you, they don't end up not transferring it to you at this particular way. But as an Arsenal fan, where I have to come on air this morning to talk about my football club, it's always the worst time to talk about an Arsenal. If your club, if Arsenal loses the previous day, always the worst time to talk about Arsenal. But it is the job that we have to do the job. Welcome to another exciting episode of Sport in a Jiffy on your radio 102.9, iImpact Radio 102.1. My name is Adeni Obafemi Falana. It feels like Ayodeji Ajiboye set me up for this. Probably saw the future, and of course he saw that Arsenal were going to lose yesterday. He told me late yesterday afternoon that, my guy, you are the one taking Sport in a Jiffy this morning. So it feels like he definitely set me up. Yesterday I predicted on the show that Arsenal were going to beat Paris Saint-Germain 3-1. Well, opposite is the case at this particular moment. 3-1 on aggregate. Paris Saint-Germain made it through to the next, to the final, I beg your pardon, their second final in about 4 or 5 years thereabout. Remember the COVID final they had against Paris Saint-Germain, against Bayern Munich, where Bayern won that 1 goal to nothing, courtesy of a goal from Kingsley Coman. We thunder strike again at this time around in Munich. That is where the final will be going down. Well, only time I would tell. But having knocked out Arsenal yesterday, I am supporting Inter Milan right now. Yes, they have to lose at that particular game to Inter Milan. Moving ahead from that, let's touch base with football in Nigeria. And of course, yesterday, the Nigeria Flying Eagles have qualified for the quarterfinals of the 2025 Under-20 African Cup of Nations after a 2-2 draw with Kenya in their final Group B game on Wednesday. Of course, striker, Parobo Arieri and captain Daniel Bameyi were discussed, where the scorers for are the Flying Eagles. And because the result means the Flying Eagles finish in second place on 5 points in the group behind Morocco. And because the Moroccans topped the group with 7 points after defeating fellow North Africans Tunisia 3-1 in the other group game. In other game also played on Wednesday. Tunisia with 3 points will now have to wait and hope they will be among one of the best third place teams at the tournament. So talking about Nigeria yesterday at the AFCON Under-20 tournament being held in Egypt 2025, that is the tag for the AFCON Under-20 tournament. Nigeria played 2-2 with Kenya, and of course Tunisia lost to Morocco 1-3. And Nigeria of course ends the group with 5 points, 2 points behind the group winners, talking about Morocco, who won 2 games and drew 1 game against Nigeria of course. So they have a +3 goal difference because the Nigerian Flying Eagles won 1 game and drew 2 games, that is against Morocco and against Kenya yesterday. So they have a +1 goal advantage with 5 points in the group. And of course Tunisia third in the group will have to wait to see if they will be able to make it as one of the best third place teams at the AFCON Under-20, talking about making it to the quarter final. Yesterday also in the Nigerian Premier Football League, we saw match day 36 actions across all centers in Nigeria. Lobi Stars lost at home to Nasarawa United 1-2. Economy Warriors defeated league champions, talking about Remo Stars 2-0. Atlanta for defeated Plateau United 2-0. Castina 1-1 against the Kano Pillars. Rivers United defeated Rangers International 1-0. Niger Tornadoes and Abia Warriors played out a 1-1 draw. Eyimba defeated Kwara United 2-0. 3SC of Ibadan defeated Sunshine Stars of Akure 1-0. And of course Brenda Insurance of Benin 1-1 against Akwa United, with Ikorodu City leaving it late yesterday to defeat Bayelsa United 3-2. And of course after match day 36, Remo Stars on 68 points. Of course Rivers United on 61 points. Abia Warriors on 57 points, with Ikorodu City on 56 points. Ikorodu City hoping to qualify for CAF Confederations Cup via maybe not just qualify for CAF, maybe CAF Champions League also, but they are 1 point behind Abia Warriors, who are in third position, occupying the only slot available for club side in the league for CAF Confederations Cup. So Ikorodu City, if they don't end up in top 3, they have to qualify for the continent via winning the President Federations Cup, and I think they are in the semi-final of that tournament, so you should keep an eye on them doing that. And Imba also are doing everything possible to make sure that they finish in the top 3 at the end of the season. They are currently in 5th position with 55 points. Bender Insurance, of course, in 6th position with 53 points. Talking about the relegation zone, we have Niger Tornadoes with 45 points, Akwa United with 41 points, Sunshine Stars with 41 points, and of course Lobi Stars with 25 points. Lobi Stars have been relegated already, with Sunshine Stars 41, Akwa United 41, and of course Niger Tornadoes 45, hoping to catch those in 13th position to 16th position. Talking about Kwara United with 47, Castina with 47, Economy Warriors with 46, and of course Atlanta of Owerri with 45 points. Whatever happens, we'll definitely keep you updated regarding that. Well, before we go on a very, very quick break, let's talk about the UEFA Champions League games that happened yesterday. Talking about Arsenal losing at the Parc des Princes, 2-1, you say, in favor of the home team. Talking about Paris Saint-Germain. And of course, Fabian Ruiz scored in the first half before Achraf Hakimi, talking about the Moroccan, made it 2-0 in the 72nd minute thereabout, before Bukayo Saka reduced his deficit, scoring the 76th 61st minute in what later became a consolation goal for Arsenal. 3-1 it ended on aggregate, after full time. Mikel Arteta, talking about the Arsenal manager, says that the best team in the semi-final didn't make it to the final. I'm very sure he's making reference to Arsenal, not making it to the final. But then again, that sounds delusion to me, because your team just got knocked out, by Paris Saint-Germain, who I feel are the best team, in the Champions League this season. In case you don't know, Paris Saint-Germain knocked out Liverpool in the round of 16 and knocked out Aston Villa in the quarterfinal, and then knocked out Arsenal in the final. Talking about beating 3 English teams, en route to making it to the final. We call the French League the Farmers League, but it's like the French League is no longer the Farmers League. All the farmers are enjoying, what is currently going on right now. Because with the front line of Kishka Kvaratskhelia, and of course with Ousmane Dembele and Bakola or Desiree Doué, whichever player, because they decide to play up front, they are a force, to reckon with. And I'm looking forward to an interesting final between Inter Milan and Paris Saint-Germain. Because Paris Saint-Germain knocked out my club Arsenal yesterday, I'm following Inter Milan at this time around. Who are you following? Well, we'll keep you updated with what is going on. The players that are going to be playing in the final, if any player will be missing out through injury. So as an Arsenal fan again, it's a sad one, but then again, just like Patrice Evra said, we are Netflix FC. We'll go again next season. Talking about going again, we'll be going on a very, very short break. When we come back, we'll see our football news from the European football scene. Don't go anywhere.
I know, and I love you too. This is why I've made it so that you can now have me everywhere you go. www.highimpactstudios.com. Press play. Links in our social media bio. Click at High Impact 1021 FM. Or you can just go the regular way. Turn on your radio and tune in to 102.1 FM.
We love you at High Impact Radio. Mwah!
See, there is no separating us now.
Are you ready for the ultimate football experience? The Discovery Cup 2025 is coming to Lagos, Nigeria from the 11th to 17th of May 2025. 400 talented young players, 20 teams, and 4 top European club scouts will converge at the Inspire Sports Academy ground for 7 days of action-packed excitement. Witness the future stars of football shine on the grand stage, with every moment captured by cutting-edge AI technology. By our official tech partners, Eyeball. Join us live in Lagos or watch from around the world as the action unfolds. Powered by Zero Sports Management in collaboration with Inspire Sports Academy. Sponsored by Mobile, AVE Nigeria, Xavier Stays, LXG Entertainment, Gas Guys, High Impact Studios, and CTA Sports. Don't miss the celebration of talent, passion, and future of football.
AI Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
I've been curious. Who exactly is the youngest swimmer in the world?
Oh, I'll tell you. Alexander Tarek, age 10, is the youngest and fastest swimmer in World Championships history. Tarek has been swimming competitively since the age of 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm glad I wowed you.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, this is the final lap of the show, and let's have the fixtures of games that we will be going down this weekend. Not this weekend, I beg your pardon. This evening in the UEFA Europa League, and of course, Bodo Glimt, from Norway, will play host to Tottenham Hotspur. Bodo Glimt lost the first leg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in England, 3-1. So will they be able to come back in this game? 2-0, 2 goals deficit thereabout, and of course, maybe force the game to extra time, or maybe even win at normal time. Well, only time with Manchester United seems to have won one full both in the Europa League final after they defeated Athletic Club Bilbao 3-0 last week away from home at the San Mamés Stadium in Spain. Of course, they will be playing at home today at Old Trafford. Will Bilbao be able to win 3-0 at Old Trafford? Well, this is football. Anything is possible. Before the game last week, no one thought that United could score 3 goals in first half. Not alone, let alone, not to talk of winning the game 3-0. But that was what happened, last week with United winning 3 goals to nothing. Would they be able to complete the job? Only time would tell. But then again, my smart money is on United winning again today, especially with that man Bruno Fernandes, playing for them. That man is a good football player. And talking about the Conference League, we'll go on a very, very quick break right now. When we come back, we'll be talking about the Conference League.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on Our Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Hi, how may I help you? Who is the shortest basketball player in the world? I like your curiosity. I'll tell you. Moxie Bogues is the shortest player in the National Basketball Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987. Oh, wow, that's interesting. I'm glad you asked.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on Our Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Of course, talking about the UEFA Europa League, Tottenham Hotspur will be without the service of 2 of their most important players. Talking about James Maddison and Bergville. Of course, talking about Maddison, he will be missing for the rest of the season. But then again, they have other players that can come in and do the job for them. Moving away from that, let's talk about the Conference League. Fiorentina will be open because to bounce back, after last week defeat to Real Betis in Spain. And they will be hosting Real Betis in France this evening. Of course, 2-1 is the aggregate scoreline currently. But will Fiorentina be able to turn the tide around? Well, that is left to be seen. Chelsea, of course, won 4-1 away from home last week in Sweden. Of course, they will be open to complete the job tonight. 4-1, it looks like a done deal for Chelsea already. Of course, the case of Chelsea in the Conference League this season is like having somebody that is supposed to be in the university, competing with children in primary school. Of course, you expect them to win their game. Moving away from that quickly, let's touch base with basketball on the final lap today. And Denver Nuggets lost to Oklahoma City Thunder 106-149 in the game 2 of the NBA series. Of course, that is for the Western Conference. Of course, the tie is now it's tied at 1-1 between both Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder. But then again, in the Eastern Conference, Celtic lost to New York Knicks in game 2, with New York Knicks leading the conference by 2, leading their tie by 2-0, 91-90. That was the scoreline in the early hours of today. 3:30 p.m. a.m. That was when the game happened. And of course, leading New York Knicks to victory in that game is Micah Bridges with 14.7 rebound, 5 assists, and 3 steals. And of course, leading Oklahoma City Thunder to the 149 victory over Denver Nuggets, who at 106 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 34 points, 4 rebound, and of course 8 assists. And currently talking about the standings in the playoff, for the NBA in the Western Conference, just like I said earlier on, Oklahoma City Thunder, they are tied 1-1 with Denver Nuggets after 2 games. And of course, Minnesota Timberwolves are losing currently to Golden State Warriors. Of course, Golden State Warriors are leading 1-0. And of course, in the Eastern Conference, Cleveland Cavs have lost the last 2 games against Indiana Pacers. Would they be able to get back? Well, that is left to be seen. New York Knicks also leading the game against Boston Celtic 2-0. Will Celtic be able to come back and of course win the series? Well, that is left to be seen. So that's that regarding sports in a Jiffy today. And of course, for the fans of Man City, Kevin De Bruyne is edging closer to a move to Napoli, where according to reports, Romelu Lukaku, his Belgian teammate, is making the moves for him to join them in Napoli. Or will he stay in England? Because we also heard that Aston Villa are making a move at signing him. Well, only time will tell. According to him, he might stay in England because of his wife and children. Talking about women making us do things as men, it's not like we are complaining. I mean, we enjoy it. My name is Adeni Obafemi Falanoti. We'll come away again tomorrow for Sports in a Jiffy. Bye for now.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on Our Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Looking for an avenue to blast your brand? Why not let us be your detonator?